Rob Van Dam truly earned the moniker one of a kind, as no other wrestler can match his unique style, moveset, and innovative techniques. His exceptional athletic ability and martial arts background made him stand out even in his early years as a wrestler wrestling in indie promotions, WCW, and All Japan Pro Wrestling. He distinguished himself from the rest by incorporating kicks and strikes in new innovative ways into his matches that were new to fans. Another move that RVD made his own during that time was the moonsault. While the moonsault was invented by Mondo Guerrero, the brother of Eddie Guerrero, Van Dam would perform a split-legged variation of the move, which involved doing a split in mid-air before flipping and landing on his opponent. This move became one of RVD's signature moves and was adapted by many wrestlers after him. Sabu, a big wrestling innovator in his own right, who was good friends with Van Dam and trained with him, presented a tape of Van Dam to ECW promoter Paul Heyman, who was immediately impressed with RVD's abilities. It was Van Dam's time in ECW that truly launched his career and solidified his place as an innovator in the wrestling world. During his tenure with the promotion, he combined his high-flying technical and martial arts style with the hardcore style that ECW was known for by incorporating weapons into his spots, creating unique and exciting moves that were never seen before. One of the most memorable aspects of RVD's time in ECW was his legendary rivalry with Sabu. The two wrestlers engaged in a series of matches that set new heights for hardcore wrestling. They came up with the spots that had never been seen before, and their chemistry in the ring was undeniable. Their matches were a spectacle with their innovative use of weapons and fearless high-flying maneuvers. In addition to this rivalry with Sabu, RVD's matches against Jerry Lynn were also groundbreaking. The two wrestlers engaged in a series of matches that were known for their fast-paced, reversal-heavy action. Their sequences of rapid-fire counters and reversals were a major influence on modern wrestling, and their matches inspired many wrestlers in following years, trying to outdo each other in counter-heavy, fast-paced, technical masterclasses. After their rivalry, RVD and Sabu teamed up. The pairing of RVD and Sabu was an odd one, but it worked. What made RVD and Sabu's tag team different was their ability to seamlessly blend their individual styles into a cohesive unit. They played off each other's strengths and weaknesses, creating a dynamic that was unpredictable and thrilling. Their matches were less about strategy and more about spectacle, with each man trying to outdo the other in terms of high-flying and innovative maneuvers. In the end, RVD and Sabu's tag team was short-lived, but their impact on tag team wrestling was significant. They proved that tag team wrestling didn't have to be formulaic or predictable, but could be just as innovative and exciting as singles matches. They were a unique pairing that brought their own styles into the world of tag team wrestling, creating a new dynamic that would influence the industry for years to come. Rob Van Dam's innovation in wrestling went beyond just his moveset and style. He was also known for his exceptional selling ability, which added an extra layer of excitement and realism to his matches. Van Dam's selling was particularly impressive when it came to his signature move, the 5-star frog splash. He would often take as much punishment as his opponent during the match, only to pull out the high-risk move as a last resort. This made the move feel even more impactful and exciting, as fans could see the toll it took on Van Dam's body. Although the frog splash wasn't a new move, as it was originally invented by second-generation Mexican pro wrestler La Fiera in the early 1980s, it can be argued that nobody executed the move with more finesse and impact than Rob Van Dam, legitimizing the name 5-star frog splash. When we talk about RVD's signature moves, we have to mention at least two of them that are synonymous with him to this day. Rather than simply hitting opponents with a chair, RVD combined his martial arts skills and flexibility to create something entirely new by throwing the chair at his opponents and following up with a spinning kick to the chair. This was called the Van Daminator. An even more extreme variation of this is the Van Terminator, where RVD lays a chair onto his seated opponent in the corner, then proceeds to climb the turnbuckle on the other side to deliver a breathtaking drop kick all across the ring to the chair. This move is also used by Shane McMahon, although McMahon uses a trash can instead of a chair, making it at least a little bit safer due to the extra layer of protection. RVD's time in ECW was defined by his willingness to take risks and his innovative approach to wrestling, and his unique style helped to establish ECW as a legitimate alternative to the mainstream promotions. His matches with Sabu and Jerry Lynn will always be remembered as some of the greatest matches in wrestling history. Rob Van Dam was a true believer and supporter of ECW, as it was there where he had the freedom to be a true innovator. In ECW, RVD was able to showcase his unique wrestling style without any restrictions. He was able to create his own persona, develop his own moves, and take risks in the ring that he wouldn't have been able to do in other promotions. RVD never really felt fully comfortable in WWE. He just doesn't like to do what someone else tells him to do. WWE is a more structured environment, with a stricter adherence to scripts and storylines. This made it difficult for RVD to fully unleash his creativity and to truly be himself in the ring. Despite this, RVD did bring his relatable persona and exciting flashy moveset to a mainstream audience. While his innovations were less in WWE due to the restrictions he faced, he still managed to stand out with his unique style and charisma. He became a WWE champion, a multi-time Intercontinental champion, and was the first ECW World Heavyweight Champion in WWE's relaunch of ECW, cementing his place in wrestling history. In 2021, Rob Van Dam was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Rob Van Dam has influenced several wrestlers over the years with his innovative use of weapons and unique approach to matches. Some notable wrestlers who have acknowledged RVD's impact on their careers include Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, the Young Bucks, Seth Rollins, Ricochet, and Kenny Omega. They have praised RVD's ability to stand out from other wrestlers, his unique movement and style, and his innovative approach to wrestling. These wrestlers have all looked up to RVD as a significant figure in the industry and have cited his influence on their own styles and careers. Undoubtedly, there are many more wrestlers who have drawn inspiration from Rob Van Dam, but it would take forever to list them all. RVD's impact on wrestling is undeniable, with numerous current main event stars citing him as an influence. It's clear that his unique approach to high-flying and use of weapons in matches have left a lasting mark on the industry. Without a doubt, Rob Van Dam is one of the greatest innovators in wrestling history, if not the greatest. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our channel to get more wrestling videos.